Knowing how a girl feels about you, it can be confusing, which is why most men don't even realize that the girl that they like actually likes them back. So today, if you want to know exactly how she feels about you, I want you to do these 6 tests and see how she reacts. Let's start with number 1. You're going to use the drive-by method to see if she finds you attractive. One of the quickest ways to know if a girl likes you is if she gives you a single, double, or triple take. So I'm going to show you how to use the drive-by method to test and see which one she gives you. First, you will want to stand up and then walk directly to the bathroom. Now, you want to make sure you walk directly in front of the girl that you're interested in. She will most likely make eye contact with you as you walk past and then immediately look away. However, if she looks at you again, this is what we call a double take, and it is a good indicator that she finds you attractive. Why? Because studies have shown that us looking at attractive people ignites the reward system in our brain, meaning she'll want to look at you again. But the test doesn't stop there, because when you leave the bathroom, you're going to walk right past her again. That there is a triple take, and it means that she not only finds you attractive, but she's interested in you. So when you use this test, this is how you read it. If you get the single glance, just stop there. She's probably not that interested. If you get the double or triple glance, you're gonna move on to step number 2. As each test that I'm about to show you will indicate an increased level of attraction that that girl has for you. And if you get her to make it past the 4th test, bro, go for it. This girl's in love with you. Move on to number 2. You're now gonna go up to her and ask for a phone charger and see if she trusts you. Now at this point, you know this girl is somewhat interested in you because of that double or triple take. But you need to take this a step further by asking for a small request, and I'm gonna show you how to do it with the charger trick. To do this trick, you'll want to approach her and then politely ask if she has a charger either for your laptop or your phone. The reason you're asking for a charger is that according to a study by UCLA, most people from every culture and country are willing to help others when it comes to a small request. So, we're testing if she's willing to help you, like most people would, or if she would just completely deny your request. Now, there's 2 potential outcomes here. First, she has her charger out already or she has it in her bag, but she's not willing to help you. In that situation, it's a clear sign this girl's not interested. She's probably not even a kind person. You can move on. The second outcome is that she gives you a charger without any issues, or she says that she would give you one, but she doesn't have one on her. In that situation, it's a good sign she's interested in you, and at the very least, that she's a kind person. And here's the thing, most of these, you can manipulate and increase the chances of getting the desired result you want by manipulating the olfactory region of her brain. You see, in a study published in the Journal of Environmental Psychology, researchers had women rate 5 of the most attractive guys out of a group of 18. Then, the men were tasked to ask each woman out in front of a nice smelling bakery, and then again in places that had no smells, like a clothing store or a music store. What they found is that when you asked a woman out in a nice smelling area, they were 200% more likely to say yes. So I'll just do the research. You need to use these findings to your advantage, meaning anytime you run these tests, make sure you smell good. And you're in luck, because you already know I wasn't gonna leave you empty-handed. I've been working on my own cologne for Santa Lucia. It's the first fragrance we drop in over a year, and I've beta tested it in multiple groups of women. I mentioned to you we're dropping this February 24th, Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. It's only gonna be 1,000 bottles. It's a limited run, and once it's sold out, it's gone. I'm not re-upping it because I wanted it to be unique, and I'll explain more on that later. However, I mentioned that there were a few notes that we still wanted to add, and we ended up selecting sandalwood and rose, both so you can get the best of both worlds. Now, like I said, the product will be limited. And last time we did this, it sold out in 2 days. This is the best smelling fragrance you'll ever smell. I wanna make sure that every time you go out, you always smell great. So if you want early access, I'm going to have a link down below. There's a survey there that if you answer it, you're gonna help us out as I continue to add the final touches, because I want this to be the perfect fragrance. And with your input, I can get there. And if you help me out, I would give you a secret code that will give you early access to the store 24 hours before launch. That way you don't miss out before it sells out. Now, at this point, she's giving you either a double or a triple take, and she was nice enough to lend you a charger. This means you move on to step number 3. You will change your position to test her body language. This is a simple technique to see if she's interested in you just by testing her body language. First, you'll pretend that there's something wrong with the table you're sitting at. You want to wobble it a bit, pretend like it's uneven. Then you will get up, grab your things, and move to a different table that is the same distance from her, but on the opposite side. After a few minutes, I want you to look over and check her body language. You see, in a study in the 90s, a professor seated female and male students in a room that didn't know each other. Then he pretended like he had an urgent call and left them alone in the room for 10 minutes. He would then analyze their body language and ask them questions about their interest over the other person after the 10 minutes. He then repeated this process multiple times with other students. What he found out was exactly what body language women used when they were interested in a man. Once you've changed positions and you analyze her body, if her body stayed looking away from you in the same position she was before, this is a good sign she's not interested in you. However, if she shifts her body over towards you, this is a great sign that she's interested in you. And that means you move on to step number 4. Ask for her opinion to see if she wants to help you. Women are hardwired to help and nurture those around them. But even more than that, studies have found that women are more likely to help those that they find attractive. So here's how you're gonna use this to your advantage. First, you're gonna approach the girl you just borrowed the charger from. Then, when giving it back to her, I want you to give her a compliment on the way that she smells. You can do something like, wow, you smell really nice. That's all you need to say. This compliment will then trigger her own sense of smell, which will result in her becoming more aware of her own scent. If she doesn't compliment you back, then just cut your losses and leave. But if she does, then it will provide you with a seamless way for you to ask for her number. However, you should always smell good, which is what I mentioned, and it will only work if you have a nice cologne that you know women love. And that's exactly what our upcoming cologne, De Masqué from Santa Lucia, does. In fact, the method that I used in designing this, not only did I grab a group of women to hand select each note, after that, I also added 2 unique compounds that you usually never find in fragrances. One is Ambrox DL and the other one's Iso E Super. The interesting thing about these compounds is that it makes the fragrance transform or change depending on your own pH levels, which means when you wear my new Santa Lucia fragrance, it will smell completely different than when I wear it. That way, every woman you interact with, you know she's smelling something amazing she's never smelled before. This is not your basic Dior Sauvage, and that is why I made it limited. That's why it's only 1,000 bottles, and each bottle has its own serial number, and you can see it stamped in the front. So when you own it, you know which number you have from the production line, and you know no one will ever smell like you. Again, this will sell out fast, but if you want an early access code, click that link down below. Answer the survey to help me finish this fragrance. I want it to be the best in the world, and you'll be able to access the store 24 hours before launch day. Now, if she's passed this 4th test, get excited because that means you can be 80% sure she's interested in you. And now you can move on to the most convincing test yet, which are my last 2. If she passes these, you'll know exactly how she feels about you. Step 5, you will send her a text right after and then time her response. As soon as you get her number, ignore what anybody else tells you. You will text that girl a few minutes after, and it can be simple, something like, it was nice meeting you. Then, depending on how long she takes to reply, is your gauge to know if she wants to go on a date with you. For example, if she doesn't respond at all, you have your answer. She was just being nice to you. If she responds the next day, then that means she's just nice, but she's not interested. If she takes anywhere from 6 to 10 hours, then she's interested, but she's the type of girl that's gonna play a lot of mind games with you. If she responds in the next 1 to 2 hours, she's definitely interested, but she might be a bit busy. But if she responds immediately, then you'll know for sure this girl likes you and she wants to go on a date with you. And if that's the case, I need you to move on to test number 6. You will send her a voice note to see if she's comfortable with you. By this point, you should know exactly how she feels about you, but this one test will let you know if she's ready to commit to a date. You see, when it comes to asking a girl on a date, most men will do it one of 2 ways, and one of these ways is far superior. See, the one that most guys do is that they'll send them a text, which comes across as a bit needy and not very confident. The second camp will call a girl, and this one shows more confidence, but see, some girls might not like it. However, there is a third way that only very few men do, which is using a voice note. One study found that 53% of women send voice notes and that they often feel more connected to the people that they send it to. So when it comes time to ask her on a date, I want you to send a quick 15-second voice note saying that you want to take her on a date. And honestly, you can steal this exact voice note. Hey, it was nice meeting you the other day. I'm not sure what you're up to this weekend, but let's catch up for some coffee. Now, if she responds to that voice memo with a text, that means she's not yet comfortable with you. But if she responds back with another voice note, then it's clear she's connected to you. And just like I told you previously, the better you smell, the better you can manipulate her olfactory bulb, the more likely she'll want to connect with you. And I'm not telling you that Santa Lucia is gonna get you more yeses from girls, but you better believe that over the last year, that's all I worked on. So if you guys want to get early access to that, it'll be linked down below. But by using this technique of 6 tests, you'll have a harmless way to know exactly how she feels about you without fearing the risk of rejection. And you can do this with anyone.